So Michael Coren, welcome to Daily Extra.
Pleasure.
You would be considered by many, perhaps, as the enemy of the gay community for many years.
Yeah.
Yet, recently when the news of Brent Hawkes' charges for sexual assault broke a few days ago, you tweeted, and I quote, "The charges against Brent Hawkes date back 40 years. Do not prejudge, do not exploit them, do not hate."
Yeah.
Why did you tweet that?
Well, I like to think I would have tweeted that at any time, but I probably wouldn't actually, to be honest. Look, I've had this change, epiphany transition, but for many years I knew Brent as an opponent. For the last 2 years, I've known him as an ally. Well, I've been under attack by people who are enemies of the gay community, real enemies of the gay community. He's really been there for me. He's written to me. He's been wonderful. And what I was very concerned about, and I think we all knew this would happen, is there are people who are now exploiting this, not so much to attack Brent, but to attack the gay community and everyone he knows, whether it's Justin Trudeau. I'm not here to go to bat for Justin Trudeau, but so if you look at the tweets, they're just going after him, and oh look, the left's favourite Christian minister and so on. They're trying to link him to people who've been charged with most heinous crimes. It's absolutely disgusting.
I guess, yeah, I wonder if you can unpack that a bit for us, because for many years you kind of were in that camp, if you will.
Well, let me qualify that.
Sure.
I was an opponent of marriage equality. I was never, I say this in my new book, look, I probably enabled some hateful people, but I don't think I actually was hateful. I didn't intend to be. But, I've written at length about this and that I was wrong on certain issues. But there's something personal and vicious going on right now that goes beyond criticism. It's something much deeper and darker than that. Even I've been attacked. Just in the past 24 hours or so, people have been going after me on Twitter because I tweeted that, saying things about me. I was called a dirty old man. Probably completely true, but that's not the point. But they also, one of them said, if this was a Catholic priest, Michael Coren would be screaming angry.
I saw that, yeah.
But actually, I've also defended Catholic priests who've been charged. All I've said is, look, give someone their day in court. But what they're doing, particularly the sex education curriculum, they're going after that. They're saying, well, first, look at the people who Trudeau and Kathleen Wynne really like.
I see a lot of Trudeau and Kathleen Wynne always referenced.
Exactly.
Like Trudeau's birthday wishes to him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why use that?
They'll use anything, and and then they quote Ben, and they'll talk about Ben Levin as well, who.
I would say Clayton Ruby defended convicted child pornographer Ben Levin.
Yeah,
that's how they refer to the lawyer.
Yeah, the fact that he's defended huge numbers of people,
yes.
And that everyone is entitled to a defence, and that most of the people accused, of course, of anything involving sexuality are certainly not gay, they're heterosexual, seems to escape them for a few moments. But they'll use anything. So they're trying to link these charges, which I believe actually, I've got a feeling might be dismissed before that long, I certainly hope so. They're trying to link this with Levin, with sex ed, with Trudeau, with Wynne, and with the achievements of the gay community. They're a frightened group, and they're a small group. They've lost every battle, and so they have no rational arguments, so they'll just throw attacks at people. There's a right-wing website, and one of the main commentators on that, within moments she had tweeted something like the left's favourite minister or pastor has been charged. Well, this is a person, by the way, who calls herself a Christian. I find that difficult to understand.
You mentioned that there's maybe something underneath this, some darker thing happening with this reaction. What do you think that is? Well,
it's fear. The world is...
Afraid of what?
Change. Look, I sat at this desk for the longest time just looking at hate mail, thousands of tweets and Facebook postings and abuse and threats. I'm sure you've seen it. Maybe you haven't seen it the way I have, because they thought I betrayed them because they thought I was on their side. But people who were trolling my children's Facebook pages, people who were saying I was having an affair, I was an adulterer, people saying I had a mental breakdown, that I'd been committed, that I'd stolen money. I mean, this is not rational. This is the sort of thing that people deal with. I mean, my eyes were open what it must be like certainly to be a gay Christian, and to be gay full stop, but certainly to be gay and a Christian. This is what people have to face. Brent has faced all this over there. Look, has he faced worse than this? He had to wear a bulletproof vest in the past. This, I think, in some ways is probably more hurtful because he can't speak. He's eloquent and articulate, but now he has to be quiet and allow others to speak for him. I think he wrote this. Now others have to speak for him. That's difficult because he probably wants to just stand there and say, it's all rubbish, it's not true. But I'm sure his lawyers are saying, leave it to us. That can't be easy.
You said you got an email from him last night. Can you tell us anything about that?
Oh, well, I mean, it was a private email, but I mean, I'm sure he wouldn't mind me saying, just thanking me. And what he did say was, this would be very difficult to cope with without having faith. I mean, he's a man of deep Christian faith. And I know what he means by that. Without that faith, it will be, I'm sure, very difficult. It must be hellish for him. It must be hellish for him and for those around him.
You have a book coming out in April, Epiphany,
Yes.
A Christian's Change of Heart and Mind Over Same-Sex Marriage. Why did you write this book?
It was such an experience for me, not only changing my mind, and that's a long story, but also what happened to me when I did. And because it was so nasty, I'm a pretty worldly guy. You know, I've covered wars, I worked in Northern Ireland, I've seen some bad stuff, and I've seen hatred. And
you've also been on the front lines of a lot of these very contentious issues over the years.
I have.
You're not like a delicate flower here when it comes to this.
No, you know, I'm more like a ugly weed. And but I was so shocked, and it really opened my eyes and rather radicalized me. So over the past almost 2 years now, we've moved to a very different position, and so I decided, the publisher said, you should write a book, and so I did, and it's the proudest. I mean, I've written a few books, but this is the one I'm proudest of. And I really am proud of this book, and it'll confirm some people's fears that I'm a terrible heretic going to hell. But I hope other people. Well, it's interesting because Brent gave me a lovely blurb for the book, and he said it was very moving. He said the world is a better place with Michael Coren in it. But I think the world is a better place with Brent Hawkes in it.